swear to God. I know that's fucked up, but I gotta tell you something. It's a little bit funny that she felt the need to use the adjective vigorously after she said he was masturbating. He was masturbating vigorously. I'm thinking in my head like, as opposed to what? As far as I know, there is only one open-ended, huh? Just straight across the fucking board? All of them? Every last fucking one of them? What about the psychos? What about the ones that key your car and light your shit on fire because you didn't fucking answer a text? What about them? Huh? How about you believe like 88% and that last 12% that's out of their fucking minds? You know, I think that's a fair percentage, wouldn't you? No? Are you too afraid to not believe? No, that's the world we're fucking. Oh my God! You're being so bad. Stop it. No. Yeah, that's not a fucking no. That means I want to do it, but I'm afraid you're going to judge me, so I'm just going to make it look like it was your idea so you don't figure out that I've already performed this act with 40 other fucking people. Right? But then you go to court and you get a bad read and there's some guy reading it. Your Honor, she said no. Stop it. What are you doing? You're being so bad. To be a feminist. You can't do it. You're a man. Look, you can agree with it, you can empathize, sympathy, you can do all of that shit, but you can't be it any more than I can stand here and just be like, I'm a Black Panther! Fight the power! And then I walk out the door, a blue-eyed white dude, and I get to live that fucking life, right? I don't know, ladies. I don't buy it. Maybe you do, I don't. Anytime I hear a guy say I'm a male feminist, I always just think that is the most pathetic. That doesn't happen here in the jolly old England, right? Not at all. Everybody gets all dead silent. Big fucking elephant in the fucking room. Right? Yeah. How the fuck do you... What's that? Ask for consent. Ask for consent? Doesn't that take the move? Well, Jesus, that kind of took it in a weird way. Dude, whatever the fuck I was saying, however you heard it, that's not what the fuck I'm saying. All right?
Bill, how are you?
What's going on? Oh, thank you. Thank you, all 7 of you. And the 4 Kevin Harts.
Yeah.
Is he in the black section of the crowd? That's what it seems like. They've moved up to the middle. Progress. I like it.
There you are. Look at Billy.
How are you?
You look like a fucking prize.
My stupid headphones to work here. Something that'll work. Let me see if these ones will work. Hold on a second.
No, they work good.
My headphones aren't working for me, though.
Oh, okay.
It's about me, Nick. It's not about you.
You giant desk.
And then also, you can't tell other people's kids not to do stuff.
Right.
So you got to kind of like be loudly like, hey, he's climbing up on the utility pole, and kind of hope that somebody does something. Well, back in the day, you could yell at people's kids, and I think that needs to come back, and that's what's holding back this country.
Yeah. Yell at other people's kids.
So this is we're very you know, you wouldn't know that we like each other. Let's try to tone it down.
No, I'm not. I'm just...
This dude is knocking it out of the park. He's one of my favorites. Here is Bill Burr. Look at you.
How are you?
Oh, it's good.
I love that you did the audience applause for everybody. Yeah, there he is. Come on. Keep it going for him.
You know, I shouldn't have to wear a mask. I don't want to wear a mask. I don't buy it. And then there are people that...
I love those people.
What?
Yeah,
you like the people that flip out?
Yeah, don't wear it.
Yeah.
Don't wear it. Go kill yourself. It's awesome. Because I have to be honest with you, I know a lot of people die.
What?
Yeah,
you like the people that flip out?
Yeah, don't wear it.
Yeah.
Don't wear it. Go kill yourself. It's awesome. Because I have to be honest with you, I know a lot of people died from COVID, but I'm starting to see the traffic come back, and I selfishly thought I wish it killed a few more.
I've always kind of been slightly dubious of a comedy competition, though.
You don't have any confidence.
What?
You can't get up there and just do your dick jokes better than other people?
No, I can't. I feel like it's not the right way to go about it.
All you have to do is be louder than someone else.
Oh, I can do that.
Action movie. Let's swoop in at these 2 guys sitting in these unbelievably small chairs. I literally feel like I'm gonna fall onto the floor. This is insane. You really went all out with the audience, though. They got full-size adult chairs. Are these like from the 20s before they had like horse tranquilizers in our food? When everybody was like 5'1"? Yeah. I fly a lot, and there's this whole new thing of generation and their shoes off on the plane. You got to look at their smelly feet, and then they'll literally stand up and they will walk into a commercial airline bathroom.
Yeah, use it and then walk and sit back down again.
That's not right.
Yeah, if I was a dictator, those people would be eliminated.
A lot coming from the Hillary Clinton camp that Trump is bad for children. And they had a lot of ads that said, you know, children are watching this guy.
Oh, we all know
talk.
that children 5 and 6 years old are always tuning into the debates.
Children are watching this guy.
Oh, we all know
talk.
that children 5 and 6 years old are always tuning into the debates. Taking notes. That's what I did when I was a kid. I'll never forget that.
I'm just going to tell you how I discovered you.
I do owe my whole career to you. I was struggling until Bobby Lee discovered me.
Not discover you in terms of like you did it on your own, obviously, but no, in terms of my awareness of you. Not discover you in terms of like you did it on your own, obviously, but no, in terms of my awareness of you.
Oh,
can I tell you that story?
Oh no, I remember it was a big day in my career. Bobby Lee is finally aware of me. Am I on Bobby Lee's radar?
See, this is what he's going to...
This is when things start to happen.
I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
Yeah. I'm just going to plug away. You know what I mean?
Listen, you can talk to him all you want. I can hear it.
So are you in the process?
I cannot get comfortable in this fucking chair. This is just like one of the worst things. This should be like in a museum, is like the prototype. This is what... This was the awful level of comfort. We went from a log to this, and then eventually they got cushions. It's another guy looking at his phone. I swear to God. Dude, the day Jesus comes back, if he ever does, if he's even a real person, like 90% of people...
But he's a big guy. He's like 6'4", and he's ripped. And we went down the alley, and his character's mad at our character, and he just turned around and looked at us. And for half a second, I was like, oh, that's Wolverine. And I legit got scared. And he's a big guy, you know? So what's funny in this scene is as the reporter, I have like a notebook, and I dropped it. And after the screening, we went to the Toronto Film Festival, and all these choice you made. I love the choice you made to drop the notebook. I go, no, dude, that was real. I was like, there's a danger to buying that car. That big yellow, they see that big yellow prancing pony, and they just come out, they come up out of the manhole covers, all these gold diggers, like a zombie movie. And that is a gold digger magnet. And they are so good at it, they can look and tell if it's rented or not. They know where to look for the sticker. I don't know how to do that.
Oh, there we go. No, but now this is like the ego one. Now I'm going to be sitting above you.
Yeah,
you got to come with two. It's fine. It's fine. Sir, the one comedy through line that's working here is me shitting on this chair. Why would you take that from me? You're just totally going against the grain. I understand it. But you got on camera, so I think you get paid, even though this is online.
Guys, every time I go into a store and I see something, they go, can we get a phone number? Watching somebody give them the phone number. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
I always give the same. Mine is all area codes.
Yeah.
I always give the same. Mine is all area codes. They go, what's your phone number? I'm like, 323-818-2125.
We've never taken a break in the middle of a guest.
I know, I had all this momentum going. Now I got to start all over again. Go ahead. Go to the card. See this? We won game one. Here comes the second of the doubleheader.
Is that a Rolex?
Yes, it is. I finally bought one. 20. Oh, is that what it is? Well, thank you. Thank you for taking my watch down a notch. I finally felt successful. You see this? You wouldn't say that if I had brown or black hair. Guarantee you. Blonde hair, you'd be over here giving me your watch.
You really are the whitest person I've ever seen around.
Yes. Served me well. I've never worked for anything. Yeah. I was born on a yacht. It's just all been downhill.
I don't even mean it in a genetic way. I mean like
I do. I'm talking for tomorrow.
Being a mother is the hardest job out there.
Most difficult job, and Oprah said that.
Oprah said that, yeah. Has your opinion on that phrase changed at all since you've had a kid?
No. It's not the most difficult job on the planet. It just isn't. Dude, I did roofing in July. As a redhead, I almost died. There's people that work on you gotta swim out of that oil and fire and then tread water. praying to God that the Coast Guard is going to get there before the sharks do. Now talk to me about a toddler. Oh, he was so fussy today. He wouldn't eat his peas. Yeah, and just the level of reward that is, as annoying as a kid is, like they smile at you and it's over. It's over. So, I mean, you don't get that, working on an oil rig when your buddy's greasy face lights up. You know what? It really is all worth it.
I love the racist white guy thing. A bunch of racist white guys. They came out of the forest and they were just going, Trump, Trump, Trump. It's like, where were all these racist white guys the last 2 elections when they could have voted against the black guy? They were fine. Oh, I don't mind the black guy, but this white lady, we got to stop her. She's going to take her four-wheeler.
So your Christian background is
just sort of kept moving them around. Like those killer whales at SeaWorld? After it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
All right, I'm not totally following, but I don't think I want to.
You know what I'm talking about? It's a morning show. I understand.
Anytime I came on,
that kid missed the graduation, and then it was a feel-good story.
It was a feel-good, and we want to leave.
If you want to feel good about America, you watch the morning shows. You don't watch this, And we were joking earlier. If that kid's story about the graduation was late night, that would have been a whole different...
About the military that got people so mad, or this one guy so mad.
I was just saying, the guy who flies the fighter jet, okay, and has missiles shot at him, that guy's a hero. However, if you're the guy that points in the direction that the plane takes off in, you know what I mean?
Hey, this is Southside Steve, and this is Southside Steve TV, and this is Bill Burr.
That's your question?
I'm just saying who you are.
Oh, yeah, all right. I don't you creep me out with that big microphone and that country. How about I give you $5 and I want to watch you line dance and I'm a racist.
You just had the baby, right?
Yeah, little Friday morning. I did. My wife did. I didn't do anything. I felt unbelievably useless. I was in total panic mode. When I dropped her up at the emergency room, she goes, all right, you got to go park the car down in the spot. And I swear to God, I was in such fight or flight. I was driving down there. Of course I wouldn't, but I started laughing. Isn't there like a Bruce Springsteen song about that? Going out to get cigarettes and there's something hilarious about people abandoning their family where I just can't imagine the hell that you would be in to do that move. But just knowing you were going to do it, the level of excitement that you would have before, okay, I'm going to go get some cigarettes. And I'm never going to see you people again, your mother-in-law. All weird science, how creepy these nerds are, all these cameras on your phone, all of that. Do people go on Ancestry.com? Why would you send your saliva into the internet? Why would you do that? Why don't you just go to the Illuminati and help them build your robot replacement?
But do you like my mic?
No, I don't. I don't. Please.
Is that comfortable? Is this uncomfortable?
This is no, don't, man. Honestly, can I take the mic?
Sure.
Now that's the number one thing you don't do. As 100.5. This is the worst interview I've ever done, and he's wearing Stetson cologne or something. It's just really overpowering.
How you doing?
You know what he looks like? He looks like the first guy who gets his ass kicked in a Steven Seagal movie.
No.
The background guy behind the big kingpin. Why don't you handle this? Conspiracy theory has gotten a bad name where now it's become synonymous with moronic thought. If you're into conspiracy.
It's funny when you said we win, I'm like, did we really win? But I understand what you're saying. Now,
is that African American thing?
Yeah.
You're whatever incognito. You're an enigma.
What, because I make a pie? No, you know what it is? You're not a good listener. You've known me for 10 years. You have no idea who I am. It's all about comedy with you and moving up the ladder and pushing people
Now, are you getting out of an existing house and
No,
The hourglass has been turned over.
Yeah.
The sand's starting to fall, and every second you're up there, whatever hit you take, that's one less one you got to take.
Yeah,
and
no, it's true.
I used to always call it my college agent afterwards, flipping out. going, I'm fucking done with these things. I'm never fucking doing this again. I don't give a shit. He'd be like, all right. And then he knew I needed the money. Then he'd call me up and he'd be like, Billy, Scott Bass. That was my agent. Scott Bass calling. I know you said you're not going to do this, but I do have. And then he knew I needed the money. Then he'd call me up and he'd be like, Billy, Scott Bass. That was my agent. Scott Bass calling. I know you said you're not going to do this, but I do have a nooner. I'm going to build around it. And, by then I'd be at home and I cooled off. It was a couple weeks later from being on the road and the rent was coming. I needed the money. And he would be like, all right, it's going to pay $700. It's like in the middle of Iowa for $700, all inclusive.
To be surprised. Maybe I just know white people because I'm white. Like, I was just like, well, yeah, that kind of seems like, didn't they have a guy there a long time ago? He was like some Indian guy and the nickname they gave him was Sooty.
Wasn't in the crowd.
He was such a sellout. He's going, no, it was a term of endearment. I liked it. And he was like the only Indian dude at the golf club. And it's just like, yeah, those guys exist in like 1860.
Yeah. No one asked what
no.
the skin color of your kids are going to be. That's what the big thing is. They were like, how dark's Archie going to be? And you're like, what the fuck?
I mean, it's like they're just fucking they're just backwards people, dude. And they're all fucking each other. I will tell you this. This is my
completed work under museum glass that is to be admired and studied. Like, how did she do that? And I'm like one of these guys, those buildings that just has scaffolding around it for like 6 straight years. And you're like, are they ever going to finish that thing? Is that some sort of insurance shop? Jesus Christ, what a piece of shit. You should just tear it down and start over again. Yeah. I have a temper. So that's the thing. That's what kind of ruins things. Everything else I do is fine, but I have a fucking temper, and it just ruins shit. And then my wife always says the same thing. Yeah, I fucking tried all of this shit, Whenever she says that to me, though, I swear to God, I just don't understand. Where is this coming from? It actually hurts my feelings when she says that. Because it makes me feel like she's not listening to me. It's like, honey, how many childhood stories do I have to tell you before you follow the breadcrumbs to the absolute lunatic that you married? Didn't you ever take a psychology class? I'm just standing there like, Afterwards, I ran upstairs to my top bunk. My dad knew he fucked up, to his credit. He came up, he tried to smooth it over. He's like, all right, come on back down. It's over. Come on down, enjoy the holiday. And I'm like, I don't want any kids. I fucking hate you. Right? He eventually coaxed me down, He softened up a little bit. Look, you don't get your fucking ass back downstairs. No one else can open that gift. I'm moving out. I said moving out. I go back downstairs all shit. She's seen glimpses of the anger, but I'm able to smooth it over really quickly. Like, whoa, Daddy almost snapped his phone in half. But I see it in her face. I can see the way she looks at me. She's starting to put it together like, this dude's a little fucked up, man. This is a little fucked up. I cannot tell you how heartbreaking that is to see from a toddler. Much less your own daughter. I'm like, I gotta end this thing, man. This rage, it has to end with me. I can't have an angry kid just walking around fucking kicking toys, fucking bullshit, just being like a lunatic. Meditating, wearing sweaters. I did that for a while. Like if I dressed like a regular guy, I'd be one. I drew a smiley face on a Post-it and stuck it on my dashboard. Like that was gonna help with my road rage. Driving down the street like, you motherfucker! I guess I've done that too. Thank you, smiley face. I remember one night I actually considered taking a bath. Because I was gonna call my wife. I was on the road and I was like, I don't want to have a fight with her. I need There's just no way as a man to take a bath and not think about killing yourself. There's just something about slipping into that coffin-shaped thing. It's like, am I gonna slit my wrist? Am I testifying against the mob? What the fuck am I doing here? I'm a man, I don't take a bath. You take a shower, hose it off, block out your feelings. Keep walking till you drop of a heart attack. Literally, as you're going down, are you okay? I'm fine, I'm fine. Not gonna like the results, miss. This is why I'm gonna do it, because if I actually don't have a temper, I just think to myself, what could my wife complain to me? What could my wife bitch at me about, right? I fucking crush everything. I do. I take out the trash. Okay, the gate was squeaky the other day. I made sure that was done, you know? I pick up after myself. I like to think I'm a good dad. I work my ass off and make a... That's what you want to look like? Like you just lost a fight 3 days ago? Don't be a hero. Let somebody else go in there. Take the fucking beats. You lay back. Wait it out. They're just lying to people. I know, looks great. Put a little ice on it. We'll see you in a couple weeks. All right, take it easy. Jesus Christ, what the fuck happened? We followed every step. Did we miss something? Oh, hey. Oh, here's your keys. There you go. Almost didn't recognize you. You look so young. All right, take it easy. That's how it happens. Then you look like one of those Real Housewives with face all twisted up. Fucking idiots. Anyway, look. Yeah, they're idiots. Do I look like I'm in my 20s? No, you look weird. You look fucking weird. You still look like you're in your 50s. I just can't guess what year anymore because I've never seen that year. I've never seen that shiny fucking look. It's almost like you discovered a new age between 52 and 53. Yeah. 52 and looking 52. All right, you're 52. You didn't get fucked. Yeah. What would you rather be, 52 and look 52 or be 52 and look like a 28-year-old lizard? All right? That's your options at this point. Fuck about Facebook. Keep it off of Instagram. Yeah. Dude, you understand? The guy's 80 years old. Do the math. This dude was born in 1934. That's 13 years before Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier. First 12 and a half years of this guy's life, he watched all-white baseball, and it was fine. First 12 and a half years. Up next, Whitey Willoughby. For this, you know? So I have like a reference or two. I don't want to be that old comic coming to the gig being like, what's up with this Monica Lewinsky? Is this crazy? I mean, this Y2K. I mean, is my stylist going to work? I don't know. So I put this shit on. Dude, I lasted 90 seconds. 90 seconds. I was open-minded. All right, put it on. 90 seconds later, I'm like this old man. This isn't music. Now, what?
Dude, you're just full-on fucking ego.
Full on. Does it make you more aggressive?
What?
Elk.
No, Joe, you lunatic. You had to beat the fuck out of people for like 3 decades before you could like chill, smoke a little weed, put on your Little Rascals hat, and just fucking chill out.
You want me to be a soft, one of those Twitter tough guys? When guys come and sit on the couch, I go right after them. Don't you respect me for that?
No, I don't. Wait a minute. Do you own Fab TV?
Yes. How do you?
That vibe. This is how CEOs. Like, I knew it. I was just like, this guy's not.
And by the way,
dressed like
I had to take my host
Your
out.
cameramen are dressed better than you are. I knew it. I was just like, this guy's not a reporter. Didn't even know the name of the show. Wow.
Well, you know what? Take it as a call. I wanted an interview. I'm like, no, I got to be in with Bill Burr. You're one of my idols.
So who was you supposed to interview me?
Okay, here.
Unbelievable. What is that all? There you go. Now it looks like an interview.
Mr. Burr.
An ugly sweater until you put it on.
Well,
And then you're just like, yeah, no, I'm totally rocking this right now.
Well, this is our funny thing where he bought this for me.
Our funny
And he put
thing?
me in these bells.
Huh?
Because it's Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a
It
bad...
is Christmas,
it's
isn't
like
it?
It's a bad radio
It
show.
is Christmas.
It is.
Thank you,
I
Brian
wanted you
Callen.
to know, man.
I wish my podcast was as informative.
Robert Kelly's and all that. They all call you Billy. Colin calls you Billy, but I fucking Bill.
I'm
You know
just
what I mean?
immediately noticing that I don't know about the chain if it's thick enough to be that warm.
Billy. Colin calls you Billy, but I fucking Bill.
I'm
You know
just
what I mean?
immediately noticing that I don't know about the chain if it's thick enough to be that warm, that level of confidence.
Yeah, but when
that's
the
more of a necklace.
when the chain's out,
he has on a fat chick ankle bracelet around his fucking neck.
A lot of people think that they're uncomfortable with my elevation. Are you uncomfortable with it?
No, I just see all of your insecurities.
Your giant desk.
You know,
He's shrooming, and he's wearing pants like he went riding a horse today. Like side saddle or some shit.
You're whatever incognito. You're an enigma.
What, because I make a pie? No, you know what it is? You're not a good listener. You've known me for 10 years. You have no idea who I am. It's all about comedy with you and moving up the ladder and pushing people out.
While people are talking about eating fake,
That was before.
I don't want to be responsible for that
before.
shit. I didn't. But the kid was in the
that
fucking
was
building.
before. Will you shut up?
Aggressive and get players.
I didn't say that.
What did you say?
You got misinformation.
What did you say?
Well, why would you say I have a horrible theory without checking with me first? It's like you already threw me under the bus.
Well,
I get it. You got a big desk.
I'm going to tell you how I discovered you.
I do owe my whole career to you. I was struggling until Bobby Lee discovered me.
Oh, no, not discover you in terms of like you did it on your own, obviously, but no, in terms of my awareness of you.
Oh, discovered me.
No, not discover you in terms of like you did it on your own, obviously, but no, in terms of my awareness of you.
Oh.
Can I tell you that story?
Oh, no, I remember it was a big day in my career. Bobby Lee is finally aware of me. Am I on Bobby Lee's radar?
See, this is what he's going to...
This is when things start to happen.
See, I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
Yeah. I'm just going to plug away. You know what I mean?
Listen, you can talk to him all you want. Am I on Bobby Lee's radar?
See, this is what he's going to...
This is when things start to happen.
See, I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
Yeah. I'm just going to plug away. You know what I mean?
Listen, you can talk to him all you want. I can hear it.
Yeah.
Really? How many siblings do you have?
I don't know, dude. The internet's too fucking weird to give out all that information.
Oh, you don't even want to say how many because you're afraid that it will
Yeah, by all means,
compromise
keep
your
talking
privacy.
about it. Is there any way you can cut this out? I'm honest, dude. Like,
Seriously?
Yeah.
Well,
There's
you can mention the
there's
amount.
absolutely crazy people out
Okay,
there.
yeah.
Actually, Nerd Jesus died in the last year, right? Steve Jobs. Yeah, he died, right? I know. A lot of nerds here tonight. I know, you're sad. I didn't get it. I didn't get the big deal they made about that guy. When he died, they were like, he changed the world. That's insane. He changed the world. The world was like, he changed the world. That's insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Just walking by, I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear, right? Just throwing out ideas. There's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know. I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys. See you in 8 years. Sneakers and no belt like it was no biggie, right? like he's Tesla. Tapping into the atmosphere. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. Right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. Nah, he didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. To their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that man is no longer walking the earth?
Excluding yourself, greatest 5 stand-ups of all time for you.
It's funny you said excluding yourself. Whenever I watch rappers, they always go like, "So me."
I thought I'd make it easier for you. Just get yourself out of that.
It's so fucking funny. It's like nauseating, the narcissism, and then there's something about the honesty of that I love. Well, I'm obviously Sam Kinison. I'm not going one more. I got.
He's going to give us the top 50.
You know?
Yeah.
I only don't throw Patrice in there just because I knew that idiot. And it would bug him.
Yeah.
It would bug him if he heard me and if I put him in or if I didn't. But, Mitch Hedberg, Doug Stanhope, Joe Rogan. This is why I hate doing this, Mike Epps. Being Tony Clifton, reenacting the Kennedy assassination is one of the greatest pieces of physical comedy you're ever going to fucking watch.
Quick impression, Johnson County. Christ.
It's unfucking believable. And I got a chance when I did SNL to talk to him about it. I go, "Did you work that out?" He goes, "Nah, he believable." And I got a chance when I did SNL to talk to him about it. I go, "Did you work that out?" He goes, "Nah, he just saw the car and he got in and did it." And it's just like, that's just thing. Just like, fuck, I gotta work hard. Yeah. So there you go. We did it. We talked fucking world politics right down. I know there's other people. George Gobel I liked. Gonna go back to the old school guys. George Gobel,
Rodney Dangerfield.
Oh my God, Rodney, come on.
Yeah, so good.
There's too many of them.
There you go. Bill's favorite 5 stand-ups.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby.
I'm glad you brought him up.
I mean, look.
Louis C.K.
Dave Attell.
Oh,
Dave
Dave
Attell
Attell
is brilliant.
He's fucking brilliant.
You almost have to be just like, you got to do like, all right, your favorite comedians in New
Snippets. Thank God somebody was rolling a camera back then. There's a scene where you guys are all hanging on the sidewalk, and then Rich Voss walks up and goes, "What is this, a couple of middles? 0 laugh, a pause," and then everybody laughed at him. How bad that bombed. And I was like, oh, that's such a great little moment that I don't feel like we have anymore.
Were fucking brutal, Tito. It was so stupid. When I look back now, I mean, it's funny, but it was so stupid. We didn't write one script, one sketch. All we did was try to destroy each other's confidence. It was just such this way. And, but what if Bobby's not there? Bobby's not there. I can't use that. It's like, and you couldn't look at the lineup.
Right.
You can't. So you had no idea it was going to be down there.
And then the worst is when you say one and they're like, "You prepared that." I did. I thought I was going to be smarter. Shit.
We missed that. We really missed out on that. Like I guess when I first got in, I remember Colin Quinn and Keith like beating up on me when I was like brand new, and I was like, "This is amazing. This is But my first.
And somehow it because.
Yeah.
It's not, I mean, I'm not going to romanticize like it was all, because I was comics going to me like, why do you sit down there? Just go down and do your spot. And if I was a healthier person, I would have been like, this isn't working for me. I'm not enjoying this. Like, I'd like to come down here and feel good about myself, not feel worse. Oh my God, the amount of shirts I could never wear again.
Right.
It was just like, I remember one time, I think it was Keith. Keith was getting so trashed for what he had.
She pops her head up. "Hey, Bam Bam, tell Stevie Wonder to come down and play some songs tonight." Now, I found out she's doing a tour because she's doing a book tour. Yeah, she wrote a book. She wrote a book about not having a job. I gotta read that fucking book. Chapter 1, how to know if a dick tastes president. Someday there's going to be the first female president, which means there's going to be the first male first lady. All right? And you wait. You fucking wait. The first time that dude opens his mouth about some political shit, you watch all these feminists throwing me. You shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up. It is her time now. It is her time. She was elected, not you. Go pick out some plates, bitch. You are the first lady. See how you do. You know? You fly them out. You land. You bring another 28 back. We'll let you do this for a while. You do this for a while. We don't get any complaints. No up and down. No, none of that shit. We'll move you up to 35 people, and then one day you'll be in a jet. Woo, we're going a little faster, right? Big planes, you get in the fucking pilot that knows what he's doing. He's probably fought in a war. He's used to getting shot at. He can't. So I'm on a smaller plane, and everything's going great. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, we hit this turbulence. Just right? And it stops. And everybody looks around like laughing nervously, like, oh. All of a sudden it comes back with a vengeance. You can literally hear like the metal the plane's made out of, like. All of a sudden this dude, like 3 rows back, starts making like these bitchy noises, like, I'm not gonna lie, I have never been so fucking scared in my entire life. Dude, that noise is acceptable out of a female or a child. To turn around and see a 37-year-old mustachioed male going, woo, woo, woo. Dude, the hair was standing up on my arms. I'm praying to a higher power. I don't even believe in this shit. I just wish I had the balls to turn around and be like, dude, would you shut the fuck up? You think I'm not up here thinking, woo, woo? I am. But how does that help us for me to join you and turn this fuselage into a haunted house? You know? You know what kills me? What absolutely kills me is some woman is going to fall in love with this guy, marry him, and make half fucking kids. And you know what? We become weaker as a species. We do. Go to the park? You want to go to the container store, get some containers for your t-shirts? This is the worst one. Ever get this one? Want to go to brunch? You want to go to brunch on Sunday? And inside you're like, fucking no! You can't say that, right? You got to keep them happy. So what do? You agree. Like, yeah, let's go to brunch. What a great idea. Oh, you just want to flip the whole fucking table over? It's horrendous. I'm trying to learn to pick my battles when I date girls. I usually argue with women all the time, man. I'm stupid like that. You know? Like, I dated this girl one time. She was, like, really into, like, women's issues. So we used to always have these dumbass arguments. So one time she came up to me and she goes, okay, explain this to me, Bill. Why does a guy make more an hour to do the exact same job, huh? I go, I'll tell you why. Because I got my shirt on fire going, let's go, people, let's go, let's go! So that's how I look at it. No, it's $1 an hour surcharge. That if something fucked up happens, either I can't leave or I gotta like get in the way of it to give you a head start, like rabid dog, run honey, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. You hear a bump in the night, I gotta go check it out, like, yes, he does have a knife. Hardcore feminist, some chick right in your face, like, you chauvinistic son of a bitch. Little short, little haircut, the whole 9 yards, right? Second those flames break out, she's gonna twist those little hairs into pigtails. No, I'm just a girl. I wanna go play jump rope. And leave you standing in a burning house like you're not flammable. You know, but I'm not a dick though. I'm not saying I think a woman should make $1 less an hour to do the same job. The other night, somebody broke into our car sitting in the driveway. Starts fucking with her head, right? So she starts reading up on guns, you know? She's reading too much because now she wants to get one, but she's just like, well, I heard you got to keep the bullets in the safe, keep the stock in the garage. And then what? I run around the house and assemble it. There's some dudes chasing me with an axe. You know, even thinking this thing through, sweetheart. Just running around. Where's the scope? It's in the living room. He's in the living room. And this thing through, sweetheart. Just running around. Where's the scope? It's in the living room. He's in the living room. No, we're getting this thing. I want that fucking thing loaded right on the bedroom wall. Right there. I'll put that thing up my jam sleeves. Just like that. There's no other point. That's funny, though, when you talk about getting a gun, you know? People, like, they either totally for it or completely against it.
You know, they either go nuts and start screaming, right? No, I'm telling you. I don't buy into any of that shit. Stats are so fucking stupid. You know? Not that they're stupid, it's the way people apply them. You already have your mind made up, and then you go to I'mRight.com, and you start memorizing a bunch of shit, and then just throw it up at people. This guy tried to get me to go scuba diving. I go, I'm not going, I don't want to get eaten by a shark. He's like, well, actually, 90% of shark attacks actually happen in shallow water. It's like, no shit, it's where the people are. Here, right? However, the second I took off the costume and they cleaned off my face and I put on my regular clothes, I immediately just looked like some sad old queen that never found love, right? And as luck would have it, I was in New York City in June, which I quickly found out was Gay Pride Month. The whole month. And let me tell you something, the gay guys show up strong. It is wall to wall, which I quickly found out was Gay Pride Month. The whole month. And let me tell you something, the gay guys show up strong. It is wall to wall. The fucking island is almost tipping over. There's so many of them. And I'm sitting there like going, oh my God, 30 days of this shit. I'm walking around with this orange Freddie Mercury fucking dick broom on my face. I am going to be getting harassed up and down the street. I was an actor, same way other lesbians do. It's not calculus. No, but I get it. I understand in 2021 you're not allowed to say you know what a lesbian looks like, right? Judging by your silence, yes, right? Yeah, you're not allowed, right? What's funny is some white kid came in here like 20 years old, hair slicked back, collar popped, loafers, no socks. You'd be looking at him thinking like, all right, frat boy, date rapist, his dad's a judge, he's not going to jail. Yards, she comes back into my lane again. So now, like, I'm up against the curb. So now I'm like thinking like, okay, how do I do the politically correct math here? Like, what am I supposed to be doing here? Am I supposed to like fucking, am I supposed to step off into the bike lane? And have some young kid on his electric bicycle come by, 40 miles an hour, run me over, I go down to the pavement, knees and elbows. And for the rest of my life, every time it rains, I got to think about this lesbian that walked me off the fucking block? Is that what I'm supposed to do? In public, people are going to see this shit, what's going to happen, right? But I'm not going to lie to you. She started closing in. She was moving, so I, like, leaned in. Like, I really got my legs underneath me because she was built like a janitor, and I was not going to get spun around. I wasn't getting spun around, not having that on the fucking logbook, right? So I leaned into this shit, and at the last second, she turned her shoulder, and we just missed shoulders, but our forearms still slapped together with significant enough force that it warranted a turnaround. Around and go like old school Dustin Hoffman, De Niro, like, hey, I'm fucking walking here, huh? I fucking moved twice, you didn't see that? You drifted 2 times, huh? So I turn around to have this confrontation, and let me tell you something, she never looked back. And I'm not going to lie to you, that bugged me. That bugged me for like 3 days. 3 days, I'm just in my chest, and then one more time, it's going to be, I'm sorry, Dada, I'm sorry. It's like, I can't do this. I can't do this to my daughter. I can't do this to my kids. So I started reading up on anger. Like how to let go of shit, I think is what I Googled. And I found empathy. If you have empathy for somebody, you put yourself in their shoes, you can just, you know, figure out where they're coming from, where you're coming from, you can meet in the middle. So I said, all right, here we go. Let me put myself in her shoes. What would cause somebody to, you know, was she a mummy? Did she have a wooden leg? You know, was she one of those, yeah, you know, those fucking diagonal walkers? You get behind them at the airport, you know, they're walking too slow, you try to go around to the right, they start dragging their suitcase over there, you go over to the left, they're coming back this way, you know, it's like they just got off a ship, and everything was just like, no, cut, right? And I was still mad. Still fucking mad. So I said, I don't give a shit. I don't give a fuck. Women. Who do they move in with? Women. Who do they get in relationships with? Women. Who do they eventually marry? Women. And I was thinking like, oh my God, I did that. I know what the fuck that's like. I know what it's like to live with one of those fucking things. I know exactly what that, it's hopeless. Trying to make them happy. Hey, am I getting the shiny thing? Did I do it right? Huh? Trying to
to get them to take responsibility for their actions.
Disrespectful, or just you were just having fun with some of the crucifixes and stuff like that?
I don't even know what I mean, we did maybe 2 jokes about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you think the Catholic Church went a little too far? More so than my cartoon.
All right, listen.
A couple of jokes. I know this is a morning show. You can't bring up all those crimes.
You know what? Technically,
they just sort of kept moving them around. You know, like those killer whales at SeaWorld. After it kills a trainer, they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background. Or they'll then move it up to Seattle. They don't give them their background.
All right, I'm not totally following, but I don't think
you
I
know
want
what
to.
I'm talking about. It's a morning show. I understand.
Anytime
I
came on, that kid missed the graduation, and then it was a feel-good story.
It was a feel-good, and we want to leave.
If you want to feel good about America, you watch the morning shows. You don't watch this, you know.
And
we were joking earlier. If that kid's story about the graduation was late night, that would have been a whole different story.
What do you think?
He's still missing. We can't find him. All we found was his hat. But you wanted then to even impress people, and now. I mean, I don't know.
Again, the good old days.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you know what? They don't even call it Alphabet City anymore. You know that? They
When?
call it like the Lower East Side. Things, gentrification, whatever.
Was that offensive to illiterate people?
Anyway,
this town has changed.
F is for family. Obviously, Netflix and the people who watch it love your show. Were we able to find a clip that we could clean up?
No, we got something. We got something.
Found something. Wow.
Might be a couple of beeps. Check
Is
it
this
out.
just the intro song?
Not hamburger assistant again.
This guy really speaks to me. Good stuff, Bill.
It's a little Archie Bunkerish, a little, right?
Yes. Yeah, well, I mean, it is that time. And when we did the 70s, we wanted it to look like how I remember the 70s, where Hollywood kind of always makes it look like everybody had a lava lamp and dressed like Ron Burgundy. This is more. I go on Twitter and somebody wrote, Bill Burr last night dressed like an out-of-shape Jerry Seinfeld.
What?
So yeah, I wrote back. I can't say what I wrote back. I wrote back.
You did?
So-and-so. Yeah, it's like, why don't you heckle me when you're there?
But why would you even respond on
everybody is
Twitter?
sassy online, not in your face.
Sassy.
Why?
Exactly. This is New York. Back in the day, I would walk on stage. Someone would have said that, and I would have had to fight my way out of it, and it would have been a tough set. And this person's just, everything's so covert. Cars, and you ask people about Apple.
They overdid it too, didn't they?
Yeah.
Let me ask you about your Christian background.
No, nobody overdid Southie back then. I'm just saying I was not that, I was more of a, cul-de-sac street hockey playing kid.
Bill Burr.
F is for family.
There you go.
F is for family on Netflix, out right now.
He'd be a little more comfortable if he threw some trash around the studio, right? He misses the old New York, and you're not the only one.
I want to meet those religious people that got upset. I want to quiz them on their religion.
All right, we'll talk about, why did I bring that up? Bill, family on Netflix, out right now.
He'd be a little more comfortable if he threw some trash around the studio, right? He misses the old New York, and you're not the only one.
I want to meet those religious people that got upset. I want to quiz them on their religion.
All right, we'll talk about, why did I bring that up? Bill,
why did you bring it up?
I'm sorry.
It's a morning show. This is supposed to be an easy one.
You know what happens? 9 o'clock, it all becomes daytime, so you got more license. Bill Burr, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Cool.
Trying to pass it down to the next white dude. I hate when people do that, man. It's like, dude, feel me out first. Ask some questions. Do you like to fish? Have you ever fucked your sister, right? I start rattling off answers, then you go old school. You give me a pamphlet, you tell me about your militia. Don't just dive them up. Come on up here. No, come on up here. Well, they came up there. They did, and they kicked the shit out of everybody. It was great. It was like a cartoon. You're like beating up whole rows of people at once, like. I loved every second. I love how Ron Artest punched the wrong guy. Wasn't that great? He taught that dude a valuable lesson in life. When shit goes down.
But I had
Jimmy asked the same question, just has a different answer. He gave up the liver.
I gave up the liver.
Yeah,
I'm like,
liver.
I'm like, they'll be able to figure it out in 20 years, right? I'll be able to. They'll put me up to a machine or something, or Mickey Mantle. I don't know. They'll figure it out.
You gotta shake.
Mickey Mantle's fine. Yeah.
You gotta shake a lot of hands to get up that liver list.
Yeah. You gotta take it on top of the
You're gonna have
donor.
to tone down your act, man. If you're gonna need some friends, a couple of senators.
Well,
I'm
gonna stop making fun of Dr. Oz, and he's gonna get me in. But
seconds, so they just strap you down, and they just go, "Hey, ready? Wait. Okay, do it." You just, and then you come out, and then you have to go into therapy.
I'd much
to deal with that level of pain. You shake for like 3 days, but you just have a cough that would make.
I'd rather get it over with, right? I'd rather just have it be horrible instead of not be like everything happened to me, right? So I started losing my train of thought. That happened. My balls started hurting, and
From Propecia.
From Propecia, and I'm happy.
That is a depressing chat group. That is not a bunch of guys sort of celebrating life there.
Yeah. You know what's scary though is as you type in Propecia and you type in my and just the B of balls and it just goes balls hurt. Click. Yeah, see, so that's the thing. Look, I mean, what are you trying to do? You're going to try to be on People magazine?
You know what? I'm married and everything. Who cares, right?
Who cares? Yeah.
Who cares? You're right. I'm going to let it go.
Actually, Nerd Jesus died in the last year, right? Steve Jobs. Yeah, he died, right? I know. A lot of nerds here tonight. I know, you're sad. I didn't get it. I didn't get the big deal they made about that guy. When he died, they were like, he changed the world. That was insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came. That guy. When he died, they were like, he changed the world. That was insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Right? And then these poor, nameless, faceless scientists got to go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we going to get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear. Right? Just throwing out ideas. There's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know? I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys! See, you always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me! Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy! How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. Nah, he didn't have people leaping to their deaths only to catch a net and get ricocheted back through the window to head out. What do you think? Because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything he ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones. We did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults. Dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting sushi, you think you're being healthy, you're eating your old rollerblades. All right, I'm out of time. You guys are great. Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
Came home, he came in the front door, you went out the back door. You just remember going into the woods and you just stay in there till his car left again.
You're thinking about going back to church.
Yeah. I don't believe in any of it, really. And my church, I feel like I'm going there, I'm helping to pay for a legal team. So I don't want to go, no, they only raped kids. Come on, here we go. You're not against that, are you? Jesus Christ. Dude, if you took 90%...
Okay.
Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Going around saying that 87% of the world sucks, you're not going to get one.
No, but this is the thing.
They're not going to give you one.
I can say that because there's nothing you can take away from me. What are you going to do? You're going to say I can't do stand-up in strip malls anymore? That's usually the punishment. So the genius...
I fly a lot, and there's this whole new thing of generation of people that take their socks and their shoes.
Make sure, she doesn't marry a jerk. And then, then I can just kick off, and that'll be it. Happy holidays, everybody. There you go. I think he just kind of, told people what to invent. Like, he just kind of came in like, I want my whole music collection in that phone. Get on it! And then all these nameless, faceless guys...
Yeah.
Made it happen.
Yeah.
And then they have the big nerd concert, and he goes out there by himself. No belt.
Doesn't owe you an apology. You just don't go to the restaurant anymore. Right.
Rich kids just sit around, doing blow, sitting in Ferraris. They don't do anything. It's the poor kids that they make stuff happen. So
yeah.
Why respond to somebody who's being negative to you on Twitter?
Because it's fun. Women are so overrated, right? We went from We went from not listening to them, right? We went from We went from not listening to them to now it's ridiculous. Like that believe women. It's like all of them. I mean, I don't know.
Again, the good old days.
Yeah. Anyway.
You know what? They don't even call it Alphabet City anymore. You know that? They call it like the Lower East Side. Things, gentrification, whatever.
Was that offensive to illiterate people?
What about the angle, there was a...
Taking notes. That's what I did when I was a kid. I'll never forget that.
Because it goes the opposite direction now, of course. You get a tax break for the more kids you get. So you're saying it should go the other direction.
Yeah, no more kids. I'm anti-kids. They need to be stopped. One year, what people should do, like Richard Branson, one of these hot air balloon rich guys, you should just float in over them right before it and just start dropping everything that they want. But even then, they would start stampeding. No matter how... I agree with you because I gave up the stuff for Lent and it's driving her nuts. You never saw...
What do you think about population, world population?
It's completely out of control.
Well, what about be fruitful and multiply?
I think we did that. I think we achieved that goal, and it's time to move on to something else. I mean, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. I think we need to kind of curb the babies for a minute.
Hey, it's nice to be out here in Denver, man. It's legal on a state level, but not on a federal level, man.
Buddy out here dressing like they're fucking going hiking. Your North Face pajamas and all the shit you guys have. You guys all live inside.
Shit, coming out my balls out, walking down the street, because that's what Jesus said in John 13. I read it in my Bible study class. I don't give a fuck. And if I get it, I'm going to the hospital and be like, all right, fix me. You were right. Everybody, all hypocritical, all the liberals, you gotta wear the mask, and half of them when they talk, they're pulling it down, they got it under their fucking nose. That took their dick out at work. Despite the stats, right? Every 1.6 seconds, somebody takes their dick out and shakes it in a woman's face in a cubicle. You're like, huh? Every 1.6 seconds? I must not have been paying attention. Every 3.2 seconds, some man jizzes on a bird and rubs it in a woman's face. Holy shit! I didn't know that happened. Right? Yeah, so fortunately...
I can't wait for these elections to be over. It's like enough already. Just fucking pick somebody. How many more goddamn debates are gonna be, right? 1,000 points of light, health insurance trickling down, everybody gets applesauce. Doesn't matter. I want to find an honest guy.
You know what I mean? Some guy's just going to get on TV and be like, look, in order for this, there's only so much chicken and fresh water left. If you're not in that upper third, just be honest with yourselves. You know, they should have auditions. Whatever you do, you got to audition to still be here. Right? You're a plumber, fix that sink better than 70% of the other fuckers. That's it. Put some wrenches in your pocket, go to the beach, and out you go. Yeah, straight across the board. Dentists, comedians, I'd do it. I'd stand in a line with a bunch of clowns, right? Tumblers and shit. I wouldn't make it. I wouldn't. No, I take comfort in knowing that. There's no way I'm making it. I'm useless. I am. I'm 44. I'm not married. I don't have any kids. Why am I still here? Just another person knowing that. There's no way I'm making it. I'm useless. I am. I'm 44. I'm not married. I don't have any kids. Why am I still here? Just another person taking up space, walking into a Starbucks. Oh, Sheryl Crow CD. Right? Why am I here? I have a horrible science background. Do you know cruise ships blow my mind? Blow my mind. I don't get how something got fat people going in it. That's game, set, and match. Speaking of nerds, when is the nerd epidemic just gonna end? Like, when is the nerd bubble just gonna burst? They're fucking everywhere. Every show, they got some guy with black frame glasses. Oh, I'm kind of awkward. I don't know how to talk to the opposite sex. Like, I'm supposed to... When you get rid of a species' natural predator, it just grows exponentially. Actually, Nerd Jesus died in the last year, right? Steve Jobs. Yeah, he died, right? I know, a lot of nerds here tonight. I know, you're sad. I didn't get it. I didn't get the big deal they made about that guy. When he died, they were like, he changed the world. That's insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Are we gonna get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear, right? Just throwing out ideas. There's another one. There's another one I just came up with on pages, you know? I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys. See you in 8 years. Where you going, Michael? Big, little, get on it. Right? And all these people slave away to make his vision come true. And then they have the big nerd fest, right? Down there at Comic-Con and all their nerd mecca. They're all showing up with their acne and their Hulk shirt. Like he's Tesla. Tapping into the atmosphere. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. He'd back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you got to throw it out. And new phone can't fit the old charger, so then you got to throw it out. Ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything you ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it. Think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones. We did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. A homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults. Dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting sushi. You think you're being healthy. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting sushi. You think you're being healthy. You're eating your old rollerblades. All right, I'm out of time. You guys are great. Thank you. Thank you, thank you.